Hello and welcome. You're listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard. Thank you so much for joining us for another segment. We're going to be speaking with Mark Rothera this morning, President and CEO of Silence Therapeutics. He's joining us on the program to talk about RNAi research and how the company is applying its mRNAi Gold platform to precisely target and silence disease-associated genes in the liver. That represents a substantial opportunity for both medicine and the company as a whole. Welcome to Health Professional Radio, Mark Rothera. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you for the invitation.
You, as President and CEO of Silence Therapeutics, give our listeners a bit of your professional background, your area of expertise, and talk about what brought you to Silence Therapeutics.
Well, Neil, I'm really driven by helping build companies that bring true innovation to the world that's going to make a difference to patients and doctors that treat those patients and their families. And I've been doing that for more than 30 years now. So 30 years in building biotech companies to bring innovation to the world.
And you're not a physician, just to be clear.
I'm a scientist by training, and I have worked now in the industry and with physicians and many experts along the way. So I guess I'm a scientist who's learned a lot along this journey.
What is the goal of the company? What's their mission? What exactly are you involved in?
So as you mentioned in the introduction, we're working with RNA interference, or RNAi, to design and develop very specific precision medicines to treat genetic diseases associated with the liver. And it's only associated with the liver today because that's where the technology has taken us. But the future would be to use the same approach of RNAi to treat diseases associated with other organ systems. And we're talking about genetic diseases here.
Now, these diseases originate in the liver and spread. You say the science has brought you to the liver, and in the future you plan on the same technology being used in other organs as well. What are some of the specific diseases that you address that originate in the liver?
So today, as I mentioned, we're looking at knocking down or silencing the expression of disease-causing genes in the liver. And why is that? Because what we do as a company is develop these short interfering RNA molecules that bind to and then knock down or silence the production of these disease-causing genes in the liver. But we also attach that siRNA for a specific disease to what we call a ligand, which is called GalNAc, that takes the siRNA to liver cells. So this is the incredible thing about this precision medicine, is that it's precise in two ways. Firstly, we go specifically to liver cells. Secondly, we go within liver cells, and then the siRNA molecule knocks down or silences the expression of disease-causing proteins due to a genetic defect in that gene. So it's very precise. And this technology has come a long way, and it's now applicable to diseases such as cardiovascular diseases, rare genetic diseases such as beta thalassemia or myelodysplastic syndrome, and other hematological conditions associated with liver-expressed genes. And maybe I should just add that, this kind of precision medicine is different from gene therapy. With gene therapy, you are correcting at the DNA level. Whereas what we do is, that DNA gets expressed or transcribed into mRNA. And that mRNA, as you know, is the template for production of proteins. And when there is a disease, you have a sort of potentially a genetic mutation in that DNA. That gets transcribed also into the mRNA. And our goal is to knock down the expression of those disease-causing proteins at the mRNA level. And the great thing about that is this is reversible. We're talking about simply maybe 2 to 4 injections a year to do this. We have seen in the field that you can be very precise, and also it's well tolerated. So unlike the permanent correction of DNA, here you have the ability to sort of put it out, turn it on and turn it off using a simple injection.
Now, is this technology used in otherwise healthy livers that have the presence of these disease-causing genes, or is it also effective in a liver that has been compromised?
Well, the idea is that we will target the specific expression of one particular gene in the liver that's causing a problem. So I'll give you an example. Our lead program is called SLN360. It's actually for a very large cardiovascular indication for the reduction of lipoprotein A. So lipoprotein A is produced in the liver, and it's been shown that if you have an elevated lipoprotein A, it's highly likely that you're going to develop cardiovascular disease more rapidly than the healthy population. So what we have done is designed an siRNA molecule to precisely knock down or silence the production of lipoprotein A in the liver. So that's how targeted we're talking about. It's a gene by gene by gene specifically in the liver. That's what we're talking about.
Now, we are talking about the GOLD platform, right? The mRNAi GOLD platform. Are these aspects what makes it unique from other technologies?
Yeah. It's been a 20-year journey for us to develop this GOLD platform, as we call it. That stands for GalNAc oligonucleotide discovery. And what it means is we have now tremendous know-how over 20 years as to how to optimize the design of these siRNA molecules to target specific genes in the liver. Mm-hmm. We also know how to attach those siRNA molecules to what's called this GalNAc that takes the siRNA to liver cells specifically. So that know-how, that patent estate, is something that we've created over 20 years. And now our goal is to sort of maximize this opportunity, both through developing a large number of medicines through our own pipeline, but also through partnering with companies like AstraZeneca, for example, and others, to also help them address targets associated with the liver.
Should some of these collaborations be what we should be looking for as far as Silence Therapeutics is concerned in the future, say the next 12 months or so?
I think the next 12 months are very exciting because we actually delivered our first clinical data from the GOLD platform in May this year. And we showed that in man, we're seeing exactly the kind of mechanism we expected in play as compared to the animal model work that we had done. And now we have a number of ongoing clinical programs for cardiovascular disease, for beta thalassemia, for myelodysplastic syndrome. And within the next 12 months, we expect to see the phase 1 data outcomes from that work as well. And those are wholly owned programs. And equally, as you've alluded to, we're supporting our partners, AstraZeneca, Mallinckrodt, others, to advance programs for them for targets of interest to them as well. So I think there's a lot to look forward to because I think this opens up enormous potential. Today, only about 1% of the genes expressed in the liver are the subject of a program that might be of interest to address an unmet need in a disease. And so we think there are more opportunities here to make a difference to patients.
Give our listeners a website where we can learn much more about Silence Therapeutics and the technologies that you're developing there.
Yes, we'd certainly be happy for anybody of interest to look at our website at www.silence-therapeutics.com. You'll see there more details about the technology as well as the programs that I've alluded to.
Mark, I appreciate you taking the time and speaking with us this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Neil.
You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard, in conversation with Mark Rothera, President and CEO of Silence Therapeutics. Audio copies of this program are available at hpr.fm and healthprofessionalradio.com.au. You can also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, listen in, download at SoundCloud, and be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Health Professional Radio.